When we learn English, there are 4 different fields or areas of English: writing, speaking, reading, and listening. Which one do you find the most difficult, the hardest to learn?
It was writing.
Uh-huh.
Not just like simple writing, but if it gets to like academic writing, it gets really hard because you need to know some certain terms and expressions that only used in that kind of area. It was like feeling like learning whole another language.
Then could you give us a specific example, or because I'm wondering what kind of topics you write for in your school as academic writing? Just as an example.
When I went to university in Canada, and then I majored in kinesiology. And then
What is
kinesiology, which is like, in other words, we usually say human kinetics.
Okay.
So it's a study of body movements. We usually study about like exercise and how does exercise work. And then when we have some assignments and then when we have reports, we have to know the terms of exercise, some physiology and some anatomy.
I'm sure you have put a lot of efforts and time to improve your writing skills, and among them, what do you think have worked the best for you?
If you want to improve writing, you have to write.
Okay.
And then have some feedback from somebody else, and then get some red marks, and then try to fix that mistakes. Well, I think that's the simple and the best way to improve. And then minor details, I try to memorize some synonyms of verbs, because in English, when you write English, knowing a variety of verbs is really key.
You shouldn't put the same words over and over again in an essay.
And try not to use be verbs, because if you use too many be verbs, the sentence looks too simple. Memorizing some phrases, the famous ones, like not only A but also B, that kind of like phrases are really useful. So try to memorize those kind of sentences, and then if you write down, it looks kind of professional. You're gonna feel good.
I want to add one more advice to your comments, which is just I want to put an emphasis on the fact that knowing, let's say, not only A but also B is completely different from putting that phrase in your writing. I think at that time you already perfectly understood what not only A but also B meant because you studied for nation or whatever. But putting actually them into practice, into writing, sounds completely different story. So,
it is.
And what worked the best for improving your speaking skills?
It's like one thing that I can say about learning how to speak. Put yourself in a situation where you can speak English.
For example,
or like you can go to like 동호회, attend like 동아리. Not just like normal or typical conversations. Situation that you have to express your opinion or you have to express how you feel. Putting yourself in that kind of situation, and then I think you can improve your English skill very fast.
I really agree on that point. I think about the momentum that I saw, dramatic improvement, dramatic progress. I wrote a lot in English, but not just about common casual topics, but also about topics that have something to do with subjects that I learned. For example, let's say global economy or global ethics or whatever, because writing about unfamiliar topics kind of force you to speak as diverse English as possible. But in contrast, when you just write about only casual topics such as what did you do last night or what's your favorite movie, then the chances are you're likely to talk about those topics with using the same English over and over again. So in that sense, I really agree with you. The next question is what worked the best for improving your listening skills?
When I was like 13 years old, when I went to the States, I watched a lot of cartoons.
Do you remember a specific title of those cartoons? At least one.
Yuhiwang.
Yuhiwang in English?
Oh, in English you say
Is that a Japan
it
thing?
says like Yu-Gi-Oh. Then it's really a thing
Oh.
in the States at that time. Every student has Yuhiwang cards and then playing the like a cards battle. And when I came back to Korea, I watched a lot of YouTubes and then a lot of other videos. Kept me on listening to English stuff.
Okay.
So I think that improved my listening a lot.
I missed the very important question on this. I bet a lot of viewers are also curious about this question. When you saw a progress, whether in listening, speaking, or reading, did your English get improved all of a sudden? I mean, when you get past, let's say there was a certain point. Then before that point, you barely felt any improvements. But then after you get past that point, then you suddenly start to understand everything. Suddenly be able to express your thoughts in English. Like if you had to choose either of them, what would be the case for you?
For me, I think it was a gradual progress. People usually say that it's a stepwise because they couldn't feel it that you're improving. But then I think you're improving gradually, but then you realize when you feel the real difference, you kind of think that it was like stepwise improvements. So I think it was a gradual progress, but then how you feel it is a stepwise.
So you believe there's no such thing as a sudden soar or a sudden rise?
I don't think there is a sudden rise.
This is one of the questions that I find very interesting and very intriguing. There is this belief that if you live abroad long enough, for let's say 2 years, 3 years, or longer than that, then you become naturally very great and good in English, even without putting any effort deliberately. What's your opinion on this unproven belief? And based on your personal experience.
If you're young, like 10 or like 12 years old, without putting on effort, just like being on a environment using English, it might help you improving your English. But if you are like 18 or 19 and then if you become already an adult, I don't think you can benefit it from just being in a situation because I saw too many people who went abroad, they didn't put on the work and then their English didn't improve at all. My personal belief is that you have to put in the work because
No matter where you are.
no matter where you are, because there are so many ways to get away with it. When you choose a country to go, you go to the countries where it's safe and then has some proof there is a possibility of improving your English. In other words, other Koreans have been there. And then there are Koreans. So if you want to get away with it, you can just hang out with friends, like Korean friends.
Speaking Korean.
Yeah, speaking in Korean, you might be studying Hunmin Jeongeum other than English. You are so stuck at English. So what do you expect? I'm Korean.